you get, yourself into a more financially better situation? Is it better health? What is it, So what are your goals? So you need to write that down. After you write those things down, we'll be able to take the necessary steps to get to those things. So I'm going to talk about my story, and I want you to adjust my story to your story, right? So for me, my story was very simple. I wanted to make more money, but I didn't know how to make more money. That's the issue, right? Everybody wants to make more money, right? But how do you do it, right? How do you do it? What are the necessary steps to make more money, So I was too far behind in getting a good job, right? So everybody my parents told me, right, as I was younger, if you want to get a good paying job, you have to do what? You have to be able to get good grades, go to a good university, be a good test taker, and get yourself a good job, right? So, yeah, I failed at that, right? And I didn't do too well in that area because I didn't really want to work for anybody. But I always wanted to do my own business. So why did I want to do my own business? Because I saw that if I was to create, even if I was to get a really good paying job, maybe I would make like $100,000 a year, right? Maybe I'd make $200,000 a year. Let's say I got a really nice paying job making $200,000 a year. That's pretty nice, right? That's a pretty high paying job. But then after taxes and this and that, I would be pretty much entangled in that job 24/7, meaning that if I didn't usually next 4 to 5 years, right? If you can't get promoted in that kind of environment, it's usually like that. It's very, very stressful and at the same time, very competitive. So I said to myself, rather than doing that, let me try to start my own business, right? So I can be my own boss. So everybody here, raise your hand if you want to be your own boss. Yes, of course. Everybody wants to be their own boss, right? Now, the question is, are you a good boss or are you not, right? So you have to be a good boss to propel your business forward, right? So I think that's the situation that we were in. So 1 second, let me... Okay, there we go. So in that situation, I think that a lot of individuals kind of lack the ability to do those things. So for me, I started to do Atomy because I believe that this business would propel me forward because of my lack of ability. That sounds silly, right? Usually your ability is what needs to propel you forward. But in this business, my lack of ability was still being able to get taken care of in this business to propel me forward. So I had a dream and I had a vision to do these things. So if you look at my screen, my PowerPoint, you'll be able to see. Very simple. Everybody needs to write down their dreams and their visions and their goals. This is something that everybody needs to do. Everybody should do, because if you don't have this, then there's no guideline for you to get propelled forward. Let me slow down a little bit. I forgot Gordon's translating. Sorry, Gordon, if I'm going too fast. All right. So as we go forward, I want you to think about the possibilities of what's going to happen, right? Either you're gonna turn into a situation where you have to choose, am I going to go the A way? Am I going to go the B way? So everybody in this room, I want you to choose. I want you to put everything down first, right? So put all your preconceptions down, put all your biases down about Atomy first. And I want you to think about the choices that you have to make. So A, you have to make more money. Why do you have to make more money? Because, if you have more money, you're able to do better things, more things, right? So I want everybody to become healthy. I want everybody to become wealthy, right? So A, choices to make money. Yes. Okay. So everybody in this room, you have a choice to make money. And I'm going to assume that your decision is a yes, that you will choose to make more money. Okay. Very good. So how are we going to do those things, right? So whenever we choose to make more money, we're going to run into two different obstacles. What? Everybody's going to be for you. They're going to be like, wow, yay, great. You're doing a good job. You should continue to do that. Yay. And then be very happy for you. And then, or everybody's going to be like, no, don't do that. You're going to fail. And then you're going to want to quit, right? You're going to be, oh no, maybe I made the wrong decision. Maybe this is the bad decision. Maybe I shouldn't have made that decision, and those things, right? So the first thing that you need to understand is, why are you making this decision, right? Why are you choosing Atomy, right? Why should you choose Atomy? And once you have this firm foundation, this understanding of this business, not because somebody told you, but because you researched it, you've experienced it, and you've seen it, then even though when people tell you, you shouldn't do it, even if people tell you you're not going to become successful, it's okay because you understand why you're doing it and what you're doing, rather than somebody telling you you should have done it and telling you why you should keep doing it rather than you making those decisions on your own. Okay. So just like you, same situation. Okay. I was in the same boat as you. What do I mean? Everybody around me said, you will not become successful. They said, don't do Atomy. It's just another multi-level marketing company. It's just a pyramid scheme, right? We've heard all these sayings. And I, on the other hand, didn't really let that bother me. I didn't allow that to bother me. Why? Because I did my own research. So I would ask people, I said, so what is a pyramid scheme? So you elaborate, sir. You elaborate, ma'am. Tell me what a pyramid scheme is. And then they, if you ask them that question, then they start hesitating. They're like, a pyramid scheme is a, you know, they don't really know. So I say, okay, what you mean is the person who is on top makes more money and always makes more money, right? And then you tell me that you are forced to buy products that you don't need, right? Those are pyramid schemes, right? And they'll say, yeah, those are pyramid schemes. And I say, well, no problem then, because in Atomy, there is an income ceiling, so we can all make the same amount of money. And all the products that we offer are high in quality, high in price, and at the same time, if you don't like it, you can return it. So there's no scheme in Atomy. And they're like, oh, really? So you have to understand what you're doing, because if you don't understand what you're doing, what's the problem? You're going to be like, oh, you think it's a pyramid scheme? Oh my goodness, I think maybe you're right. And then you quit, right? So we don't want you to run into those things. So the next slide that I want to show you is just me. So this is the beginning stages of Atomy for me. This was about 7 years ago. So look at that. Look at that. Look how young I look, right? Look how young I look. But I look younger now, right? Because I use the absolute skincare set. And I'm de-aged now. So I look even younger than when I first started. So if you look at this photo here, this is me holding on to my son, my firstborn, Bryce, and giving my speech, right? I think this is when I became a Diamond Master. And this is a very normal photo. Why? Because I went to all my meetings like this. I didn't even wear a suit, but I would just walk around and I would take my son everywhere. And then I would explain to everybody. I would tell them, Atomy is amazing. It's great. You should do it. And everybody would tell me, what are you talking about? And my family members would tell me, they're like, oh my goodness. They're like, oh no, he's doing it again. Oh no, they're kind of embarrassed for me because they didn't understand what I was doing. But for me, I had this mindset that I was not just doing this business for my own benefit, but I was doing this business to help other people around me, right? So think about the mentality that you are in, okay? A lot of the members that I speak to say, oh, I have such a difficult time sharing Atomy with people around me. And I asked them, I said, why? Why do you have this problem? Because I don't understand it. And they're like, oh, it's because I'm telling them to use Atomy for my own benefit. That's what they're thinking, right? They're saying, I'm telling them to use him or him because I want to make another PV. That's what they're telling me. I'm like, oh, you have such a bad understanding of Atomy then. That's not what Atomy is about. And they're like, what do you mean? What do you mean that's not what it's about? And I asked them, I said, listen, if I didn't tell you about Atomy, would you still brush your teeth? And they're like, Yeah, of course, right? So everybody in this room, did you brush your teeth today? No? Some of you are like, not yet. Well, I hope you did. Everybody in this room, you brush your teeth. So let me ask you, did you brush your teeth even before meeting Atomy? I hope so. I hope so. So did you also wash your hair before meeting Atomy? Yes. So what am I saying? I'm saying that Atomy has nothing to do with your lifestyle, right? You always brushed your teeth and brushed your hair and took showers every single day, right? And then my partner would say, "Yeah, that's true." And then I'd say, "Well, so what are you doing then? Why are you embarrassed, or why are you feeling like you introducing a product to that person is not helping them?" And they said, "Well, because they have to pay me money to buy that product." And I said, "Well, listen, before they ever met you, they would pay store A or store B to buy that product anyways, right?" They're like, "That's true. Yeah, that's true." And I said, "Well, here's the difference though. The product that you're offering them is cheaper than what they would probably be using and better in quality. So why aren't you sharing that with them?" They're like, "That's true." And I say, "Yeah, of course it's true." So what you're doing is you're helping them. For example, if they used to use a skin, like let's say sunscreen, right? You use sunscreen that's like, let's say 15, 20, 30, $40, right? Because that's the kind of sunscreen that we are targeting, right? I'm not talking about $1 banana boat sunscreen, right? You shouldn't be using that. But I'm talking about high quality sunscreen that is good for your skin. At the same time, it's not going to run like white water down your face, right? So this type of quality is much better in Atomy and cheaper. So if that person is accustomed to using, let's say, propolis toothpaste, which is about $8 per 100 grams, and then you introduce them to Atomy propolis toothpaste, which is what? Do you know how much it is per 100 gram? It's less than $2, right? So this product is much, much better and cheaper. So if you go up to that person and say, "Listen, your regular toothpaste, not doing you too much help. Atomy toothpaste, it's going to help you with your gums. It's going to help you with your bad morning breath. And then it's only what? About $2 per 100 grams. So it's much cheaper than what you're accustomed to." So I just help this person save money, right? So what are you doing? You are on a mission to help individuals save money. And at the same time, it's a win-win because they're saving money. But when they're entered into your system, you are benefiting from what? From their purchases. And yet at the same time, you're helping their group grow and their group is growing with you. So it's a win-win situation. Now, this story would be different if you were actually selling them a product A that they didn't need, right? And two, is more expensive than other products on the market. Now, if that was the case, of course, you're not helping them, right? But that is not the case in Atomy. That's the beauty of this business. So that was the reason why I was running around with my son and my wife doing Atomy. So I would meet everybody, go to everybody around me would be like, "What do you do?" "Well, thank you for asking. What I do is I help people make money by saving on everyday necessities." They're like, "What? What is that?" And then I would introduce them to Atomy. And I did that for about 1, 2, 3 years. And after about 3 years, I started to make the money the top tier individuals make who have a well-paying job, right? So what I mean about top tier is like $200,000, right? So if I was working for a hedge fund, or if I was working as a doctor or something like that, right? So some of the doctors that I know, they start off pretty well at about $160,000 to about $200,000. But that all differs, but usually they have a lot of debt, right? So going to medical school is not free. So usually a lot of my friends who are lawyers and doctors usually have about minimum $150,000 to $200,000 in debt. Okay. But me, I had no debt. I was debt free. And at the same time, I was already making that income. And my friends were really, really surprised to see this happening. And I said, listen, it's very simple, right? You brush your teeth, you shampoo your hair, you need these products, and we're moving towards an online community and online purchasing. So this is what Atomy is. And then I would show them the Atomy plan again, and then everybody would become consumers, because there's no reason not to become a consumer nowadays, right? So my next slide, from this to this, right? So now here I am again. Look at that, looking even younger, right? Looking even younger. So this is me a few months ago, I think, at the new Orot facility in Korea with CEO Park and the other leaders. And that's how my life has changed, right? It's not much different. So did I do it? What did I do different from when I first started the business until now? What did I do different? Nothing. I didn't do anything different. I just said, amazing quality, amazing prices. You should give it a try. That's it. So every single person you walk by with a face, you say, listen, amazing quality, amazing prices. You should give it a try. And they're like, who are you, crazy person, right? But you talk to everybody that you can, and you share with them the concept of being able to make money by just simply switching everyday necessities to Atomy. And they're like, well, why would I want to do that? And then you give them the basic 30-second rundown, right? What's the 30-second rundown? You say, listen, you need everyday necessities, yes or no? Yes. Where do you buy your products? Here. Well, stop buying it there, buy it here, save money here, help other people save money, make commission, save on products. Done. It's 30 seconds, okay? It only takes 30 seconds, okay? That's all you have to do. And then what? And then they will be the ones who ask you questions, right? And then when they ask you questions, you say, all right, let's go over here, go grab some coffee, let's hop on a Zoom. And then you explain to them in a little more detail, right? So it only takes 30 seconds to get them interested. And after you get them interested, you sit them down in a meeting like this, right? And then that's what I did. And that's what happened. So I duplicated my steps towards helping my partners grow. Now, I'm going to go a little bit more detail into my next slides, okay? So from the initial introduction, all you had to understand is this. A, you want to make money, right? B, how do you make money? And C, can I make money? Okay, so those are the basic understanding, the basic points that I want you to understand, okay? So now I'm going to talk about why Atomy works. Every single thing that we do, it is limited by our personal ability, okay? You have to understand that. Every single thing that you do, you are limited by your personal ability. If somebody tells you otherwise, then they're not telling you the truth, right? If your mom tells you, you can be anything you want, son, you will grow up to understand that that is a lie, okay? You cannot grow up to be anything that you want. You can grow up to be anything that you maybe have the ability to do and work towards, okay? So that is not true, okay? I have my own kids. And of course I encourage them, son, you can do anything that you want. Anything that you put your mind to, you can become. Yeah, of course you say those things because you don't know what their abilities are, right? As they grow up, maybe they have the ability to become that astronaut, right? Maybe they have the ability to become whatever it is. But even my son, you know, he wants to be a dinosaur. I say, okay, son, you work really hard. Maybe one day you'll become a dinosaur. I don't take his dreams away, but I know in my mind that he's not going to become a dinosaur because he's a human being, right? But I just let him go, okay? I say, okay, son, you keep that roar up. Maybe you can become that T-Rex, you know? Practice your roar. Those that understand that they cannot be a dinosaur, you cannot be a dinosaur because you lack the ability of being a dinosaur. So at the same time, we have to understand during this stage in our lives, what is limiting you to become successful, right? And mostly it is you. It is your lack of ability in that business, in that field. Okay. So in Atomy, how does Atomy take care of your lack of ability? How does Atomy take care of these things to help you, to propel you forward? Okay. So I'm going to talk about fellowship. Okay. So what is fellowship? So what everybody maybe, fellowship, I don't think it's a real word because it was telling me to autocorrect it. But so fellowship, what I'm talking about the future business models. Okay. So everybody in here today, you know what Instagram is. Raise your hand if you know what Instagram is. You have an Instagram account. Raise your hands. Raise your hands. Okay. Instagram. Whoa, so many members with Instagram accounts. Why aren't you following me then, huh? I don't see you guys following me. So follow me on Instagram at Coach Jew, okay? So if you all have an Instagram, what does that mean? That means that you have fellowship. That means that people are following you online. Well, who do you follow online? Let's think about it, okay? Celebrities have a lot of Instagram followers, right? Coaches and content creators, these people have lots of followers. So what does that mean? Your ability, again, will determine your fellowship, just like YouTube. Who has lots of YouTube followers? People who make good content, right? They are the ones who create the fellowship. Well, regular individuals like you, like me, it's maybe very difficult to create lots of followers, right? Yes. So how do you solve that problem then? Right? This is the mentality that I want you to have right now for this lecture, okay? So how do I create more fellowship? Does Atomy allow me to create fellowship? Does Atomy have the ability for me to leverage off of other individuals and their fellowship, right? And that's the thing that you have to understand. So I'm going to draw it for you, okay? Because a lot of individuals don't understand what I mean when I say these things. And in Atomy, it's very simple. If you understand the compensation plan, you understand what I'm talking about, okay? So I'm going to draw my board, okay? So in this lecture, I want you to understand the differences between these things, okay? So as we do this, let's say that this is you, okay? You are here, okay? You. And you have an A line and a B line. This is the A and this is the B, okay? In Atomy, what we're talking about is fellowship in your downline, okay? Your downline leverage. That's the fellowship that I'm talking about. So in this, oops, wrong slide. So in this, you are here and your A and B line is here. And in Instagram and in YouTube, other online businesses, your content is what creates more fellowship and more members. But in Atomy, your products is what creates more fellowship and more members. But once you register somebody here, let's say you register here, this person will register another person if the product and the business is sound. Agreed? If they understand that the business and product is sound. Now, once they register person C, whoever they again register, you are benefiting from. You see how that works? So in Atomy, your personal ability is not what determines your fellowship. So when you register your uncle and your uncle registers another person and that person registers 1,000 people, it's just like everybody in your downline is now your Instagram follower, right? But everybody knows who does Instagram that that's not the case, right? In Instagram, only people who follow you, not your followers are your followers, right? Or else you would have 1 billion followers, right? But only people who follow you leverage off of, right? But in Atomy, I'm telling you, and maybe this is a hard concept to understand, but your partners, followers, become your followers. Make sense? So if you have a partner, let's say on Instagram, who has 1,000 followers and you only have 10, well, if they follow you, you now have 1,000 followers in Atomy. That's the concept. Because in Atomy, their network becomes your network. Once they understand what Atomy is, then they will share to their network. Okay? So that's why this business model is amazing, because you're able to leverage off of individuals in your downline, and you are able to help individuals build this business bigger and better. The next slide that I'm going to talk about talks about how you are able to create the followship and create passive income. And that's because of the quality and the price of the product, and because these individuals create the quality, and they understand the quality, and they understand that this price is reasonable. You become what? You become somebody who gets passive income, because what? Consumer retention. Okay, what do I mean? Okay, what do I mean? In Korean, we say 단골, right? That means that they are somebody who are regulars, right? They are individuals who will continue to use the product. So how do you become a regular at a restaurant? Okay, when do you become a regular at a restaurant? When the food is delicious, right? And the price is reasonable, right? Then you become a regular. But if the food is not amazing and the price is not amazing, do you continue to go there? No. So the other effect happens. What happens? You tell people not to go there. You say, oh my goodness, I went to this restaurant, price, oh, so expensive. Oh, quality is so not delicious. Never go there, right? If you experience that, you will probably tell 7 people this thing. But even if you experience something amazing, you probably only tell 3 people, right? People tell you not to go watch a movie more than to go watch a movie, or not to go to a restaurant than to go to a restaurant, right? But listen, in Atomy, you have nothing to lose, because you're able to what? Get a refund, right? If you don't like the product, there's a problem, just call John. John will refund you your money, right? So don't worry about it, because the price and the quality is great. He doesn't need to worry about, oh my goodness, so many people are going to call me to get a refund. Why? Because in Atomy, our return is 0.19%. What do I mean? Every single day, we have more than 50,000 boxes going out, right? And out of all those boxes going out, people, less than 0.19% of those boxes going out come back. So the products that do come back are defects, right? Products that were maybe damaged on delivery, things like that. It's not returned because of quality, because you can't find better quality than Atomy at the price that we're offering, right? So what do you have to lose? You got nothing to lose. So in this process, I want you to think about, well, where do I stand? What do I need to do? In the AI, I'm talking about, it's not intelligence I'm talking about active income, okay? So active income and passive income. These 2 key things drive your business. And in Atomy, all you need to do is this. Okay, what do? You say, hey, do you brush your teeth? Hey, do you shampoo your hair? And then they will tell you yes. And then you tell them, well, that's great, because I want to help you save money, because Atomy has amazing products at amazing prices. Okay? So give it a try. That's all you do. So nobody can say, oh, I don't brush my teeth, I'm sorry, right? Because they'll look silly. So you share with them the product, and then you help them to become a member. And as you do these things, your ability starts at 1 and then goes to 0. What do I mean? Your effort. So your effort is, you should try the product, and then after they become members and they are hooked, then your effort goes down to 0, because your downline starts creating more members and more members and more members, right? It becomes a snowball effect, okay? So other individuals' abilities become your ability. Everybody understand? Yes? Yes? Okay. So it's really, really simple. I know that we can make it much more complicated, but it doesn't get any more complicated than this. The ability to do this business is dependent 100% on you first, right? Do you have the desire to go beyond your comfort zone, right? Do you have the desire for what? Success. And is your desire greater than your fear of failure? So if the answer is yes, then you will be propelled forward because of your desire to succeed, okay? But individuals who do not have a desire to succeed, they'll ask me this. They say, oh, coach, I have no passion. I have no passion. In Korean, you'll say, 열정이 없어요. They say, I have no passion, but I want to be successful, right? They say, I have no passion, but I want success. So that's what you call lazy, right? So they are lazy, okay? They are lazy. So what happens then? It's okay. I'm lazy. Many people are lazy, right? So they are less self-disciplined to work by themselves, right? So for example, let's say that you want to lose weight, okay? So one of my friends, he's going on this weight loss, what do you call it? Promise, I guess, to himself, right? To lose weight, okay? So what he's doing is he is consistent with daily goals. All right, let me say that again, okay? You need to be consistent with daily goals. So each day, he promises himself that he'll do X amount of sit-ups, X amount of push-ups, and then he'll run X amount of minutes, okay? So in Atomy, if you want to become successful, you need to be consistent in how many new people do I talk to? How many of my regular members am I communicating with? What's my PV goal today? So these three things are very basic. You have to be consistent, okay? But since everybody, including myself, since we're all lazy, what do we need? We need a supporter. Who? Your upline. Your upline is your coach. Who's your upline? They're the ones. Did you do your push-ups today? Did you do your 10 laps today? They're your coach. They're the ones who whip you into shape, right? Because if we just depend on ourselves, maybe we won't do it. But I'm 100% sure your upline will love to put you in shape, right? So you need to have daily goals. So you need to tell your upline, you say, all right, today I'm going to call 3 people. My goal is to call 3 people every single day, right? And then if you only tell yourself this, are you going to call 3 people? No, maybe because you'll forget, right? Maybe today I don't feel like calling 3 people. Oh, today it's raining. Oh, today so and so and so. But if you tell your upline, they'll call you. Hey, remember, you have to call 3 people today. And then lunchtime comes. They say, hey, did you call 3 people yet? They're like, oh, I'm working on it. And then maybe at around 3 o'clock, okay, I think everybody's done with their lunch break now. I think it's time to call those 3 people. And then 5 o'clock, they're all right. Before dinner, did you call your 3 people, right? They will help you stay on track, right? So that's what we need. Everybody wants to do the right thing. Everybody wants to grow, but people lack the ability to stay consistent. So what is it that you have to do? You have to be very open about your goals to your upline, to your sponsors, so they can help you accomplish those goals together. Very simple, very simple. So can I get a raise of hands if you are willing to share your daily goals with your upline so you can stay consistent? Let me get a raise of hands. Hands up, hands up. Oh, look at all those beautiful hands going up. There we go. There we go. Yes, yes. So that's why we're sharing our daily goals openly, right? So this is the way that you all need to stay consistent. It's not about having the passion and having the desire only, because every day we have up and down, right? Every day, sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down. And we don't want to allow our emotions to gain control of our future success, right? We want consistency to be the answer, because you can duplicate consistency. You can duplicate this, but you can't duplicate your desire to succeed for everybody else, right? Because everybody's level of desire will be different. Everybody's willingness to put in the effort will be different, but everybody can have a consistent daily goal. And your daily goal is all you need. If you do your daily goals, it becomes a weekly goal, it becomes a monthly goal, it becomes a yearly goal, right? But without a daily goal, you will never accomplish a weekly goal. You'll never accomplish a monthly goal. So everything, you just need to break it down into daily increments, small baby steps. But these baby steps are what propel you forward into the business, okay? So now, time for some Q&A that I got, okay? I can't believe it's already 9. It's already been 52 minutes. Oh no, I think my lecture time is only 1 hour, but it's okay. If you want to leave, you can leave later, but I'm going to keep going for, I think, another hour. So, so sorry for delaying your time, but now time to transition from my lecture to some of the Q&A questions that I got, okay? So bear with me. In Atomy, okay, I explained to you it works because Atomy is already a business that is logically sound, okay? So a logically sound business allows you to duplicate this business for other people. For example, okay, I'm going to review very quickly, okay? Everybody brushes their teeth, everybody shampoos, okay? So that means that everybody needs to buy a toothbrush and toothpaste and shampoo. Very sound logic, right? So before you meet Atomy, you have already been introduced to shampoo, toothbrushes, and toothpaste, right? Now, we are disrupting this industry by providing consumers with better quality at better prices. That's what Atomy is. We are breaking down barriers into this distribution hub that was always only for people with lots of money, right? So the supply chain is being disrupted by Atomy, okay? So Amazon is our competitor, right? Amazon is doing the same thing, but Atomy is a little bit better because we have relationship and networks that bind us together rather than one individual just shopping at one company, okay? We shop as a group, and our business grows better that way. Second part. Since we have a good product and good prices, we're able to what? We're able to adopt this mentality for regular individuals. Therefore, they become business partners. And that creates followship, like I said, followship. And what followship does is it gives you leverage to sell to other individuals who you would never be able to sell to as a regular person. Okay? So your downlines, you don't know who they are. But even though you don't know who they are, they're linked to you because the Atomy downline structure is that way. And since they're linked to you, whenever they purchase a product, maybe outside of Canada, you still get money for those things. So you make money when you sleep. Isn't that beautiful? Everybody wants to make money when they sleep, no? You are making money without your ability to make, without the ability or effort, without the effort of trying to make money, right? That's called passive income. So that's the structure that we're building. Okay. Now, when we have this structure, we start to question what we need to do. So when you have this structure, this is a very good question that comes to mind. Okay. It says, my left and my right legs are not balanced well. Most of my effort is focused on the weaker line, and I am not doing anything with the power line. How should I deal with my power line is the question, right? So how should you deal with it? Okay, I'm going to read it one more time so we can all write this question down, okay? Jot it down so this will be relevant to you as well. My left and right legs are not balanced well. Most of my effort is focused on the weaker line, and I am not doing anything with the power line. What should I do, and how should I deal with my power line? Okay, that is the question. Such a good question, right? So what do you need to do? You have a power line, you have a weaker line. Well, congratulations to your power line, right? Some people have no line, right? So what do we need to do? Okay, before answering this question, we need to understand the compensation plan first. Okay, so this is going to be like a 20-minute answer, but bear with me. Okay, so before answering this question, I want everybody to understand that in Atomy, you need to understand the importance of teamwork. Okay, my whole lecture just now dealt with your ability to leverage off of individuals in your downline, meaning that it is teamwork, right? Your team creates more revenue than you doing it on your own. So it is a teamwork business. So if you have a A line and a B line, but you only have teams on your weaker line, then you don't have a balanced team. Even though you may think that you have a power line, that is not the case. So I'm going to break this down for you. Okay. So the first thing I want to talk about is teamwork. What does it mean? Okay. What's the meaning of teamwork? Okay. And I wrote down, I said, being able to work with your A and B line to create something beyond your own ability. Okay, that is teamwork. So what is teamwork? One more time. The ability to work with your A and B team to create something beyond your own ability. That is the definition of teamwork. Okay, for me, not what the Webster Dictionary says. Okay, so as we grow, you have to be able to create leaders that you communicate with in both lines. So my number one, so I have lots of members in India. I have a lot of India members. Okay, so the first thing many of my India members requested is what? Coach, build me a power line. That's what they say, right? They say, I do B line, you do A line, right? That's what they say. Everybody told me this. Every single day I get new messages say, this person promised me A line, but can you build A line as well? And I will create my B line. Okay. And then I even made a YouTube video that says no power line in Atomy. Right? So go to my channel and watch that video if you are interested. But what I'm saying is this. I'm saying building consumers, everybody builds consumers. Consumers are easy to build, right? Your A line, B line, everybody will build consumers for you. But consumers are not the individuals that create mastership. Leaders are who creates mastership, right? For example, individuals in here, your sales masters, your diamond masters, your Sharon Rose masters, star masters, and so on and so forth. But you didn't gain your mastership by just hoping one day you'll become a star master. I guarantee you nobody in this room will ever become a sales master by just hoping. It doesn't work like that. Okay? It works only when your team creates the certain volume in the 1st to the 15th and 16th to the end of the month. Okay. I know there's new members in here. So ask your upline for what I'm talking about, but I want this to be a very detailed lecture. Okay. So I'm not going to dumb it down. I'm going to talk very detailed so you understand. So from the 1st to the 15th and 16th to the end of the month, if your downline, if you want to be a diamond master, if you do not create a minimum of 2.5 million PV in the A, B lines of your 2 sales masters, you'll never become a diamond master. So I'm gonna show you. And remember, I'm answering this question. Okay, this is me answering the question. So watch what I mean by this. Okay, so in this situation, in order to become a diamond master, a DM, you need 2 sales masters, right? That means that there needs to be 2.5 million volume in your A and B line. So if you add that up, that is 7.5 million PV to become a diamond master, right? But some people have 10 million PV and are still not diamond masters. Some people have 40 million and still not diamond masters. Do you know why? Because you don't have 2 sales masters. Because maybe this person here has 1 million PV and they have 9 million PV down here. Okay? So what do I mean? What is the point of this explanation then? What I mean is you need to take care of, if this is Amy, you need to take care of both A and B line, meaning you need relationship with both members and both leaders to create the volume and consistency to create masterships in the future. Okay. So this goes to the next step then. So what's the next step then? In this, you need to have individuals understand this business in the way that it's not about just numbers. Okay. So people think that this A line is a power line because they have 1,000 members, right? And some people say their B line is the weaker line because they only have 50 members. Okay. But come to find out, these 1,000 members, they are only willing to buy 1 toothpaste and 1 toothbrush. So you only have maybe 300,000 kPV coming from your A line with 1,000 members. But your B line, these people, they all want to buy and sell. And you have 2 diamond masters here. But there's only 50 people. And you have no sales master here, and even though it's 1,000 people, right? So don't be fooled by the number of registered members, because the number of registered members does not always determine the end results of the revenue and mastership. Okay? So what am I saying? I'm saying that you need to be able to create individuals in your downline who understand how to do the business. So I'm going to answer it like this. Okay. So yes, you need to focus on your weaker line, of course, but also yes, you need to focus on your power line. How? Why? By becoming a leader with a track record of consistency and growth. Okay. So watch. If you are a member with a big power line in your A line and you don't know who they are, that means that your upline created that line for you, right? And if you want relationship with your A line, you will never be able to have relationship with your A line unless you have consistency and what? And growth. For example, now you have to understand the psychology of Atomy and any business. Okay, let's say that you join the army, okay, and you've been in the Army for 8 years, and then all of a sudden a fresh officer comes on your group, and he's a first timer, right? He just graduated from university and he's an officer. Just because he graduated from university and you're private still, right? But you're maybe like an E5, E7, right? And this guy's an officer. He's an O3 or whatnot. Most people don't respect him right away, even though his rank is higher. Why? Because they don't trust him, because they don't know if he is about what he's about, right? So in this business, if you did not register anybody in your A line and you only built your B line, then you're going to have a very difficult time creating relationships with your A line because you didn't register them, because they're not your people. They're your uplines people. And I know that this situation can be very triggering or very different in each situation, but that's why I tell every single member, build both lines. Even if you have 1,000 members on your A line, I say you still add 2 key leaders in your A line and 2 key lead in your A line minimum. I always tell them this. Even CEO Park talks about this. He says, you know what he says? He says, CEO Park says you need at least 4 members in your A and B line that you are doing masterships with, right? And you need to be able to manage 3 lines on your A and 3 lines on your B. If you don't understand this, then you don't understand how to build Atomy yet, okay? But you have to have 3 and 3 lines that you're working with, okay? So this is a more in-depth answer for question number 1, but this is something that everybody will understand later on down the line, okay? So even if your A line is bigger than your B line, or your B line is bigger than your A line, it is your responsibility to work with leaders in both lines and stay consistent in your efforts to help them grow. So this takes time and this takes effort on your part to do these things, okay? So the second question that I'm going to be talking about, okay, is this. It says, people say Atomy is a relationship business, okay? I think I understand what that means, but I am not sure how I can make the efforts on this, okay? So could you please give me some advice? Okay, very good. So here's my answer for number 2, okay? Relationships are built according to mutual interest, right? So let me say that again. We have to understand how relationships are built. So everybody in this room, you have a relationship because of your mutual interest in Atomy, right? If it wasn't for Atomy, we would not be sitting here today. We have a mutual interest in Atomy. Okay, so relationships are built on mutual understanding and mutual interest. So outside of Atomy, let's think about your best friends. Who are your best friends? Who are they? Not what their names are, but who are they as a person? They are individuals probably with the same kind of values and hobbies that you hold, right? They're individuals with mutual interest. That's what that means. If you're somebody who loves soccer and your buddies probably also love soccer, okay? If you are a good person, then your friends are probably good people. If you're a criminal, then your friends are probably criminals, right? You surround yourself with individuals who are like yourself. So it's very important who you surround yourself with, right? So people always say you can tell a lot about a person by looking at who their friends are. That's what that means, right? So mutual interest, okay? Mutual interest creates friendships. Now, the next step is the important part. So I'm going to read the question again. People say Atomy is a relationship business. I think I understand what that means, but I am not sure how can I make efforts on this. Okay. Now let's think about the next step. Who are your close friends? Right? So you can join a club, you can join a soccer club, you can join a baseball club. But within that club, everybody has the same interest. But even within that club, you have people who you click with or you grow with much better. Why? Because it is time and relationship based. Okay. So you have to build trust. So in Atomy, everything in Atomy consists of mutual interest. Everybody is here in Atomy because A, they like the product. B, they want to make money. Very simple. Now, how do you build beyond that with your partners? Okay. Beyond that with your partners means consistent growth in your Atomy endeavor. Consistent growth in your Atomy endeavor. Okay. That means that every single day you are showing them that you're consistently growing by doing your daily goals and that you are building a relationship by communicating with them every single day. And that is the way that you continue to grow your business. That's how you create relationships in Atomy, by showing them that you are somebody that they can trust. So your relationship bank, let's call it a bank, okay? Every single day you deposit trust. Every single day you deposit trust with your partners, okay? So today your consistency built more trust with your partners. So there's another deposit, okay? You answering your phone and helping them even though, you know, they ask the same question 10 times. You're building trust, right? You're building trust. So every single day you're building trust. But guess what? That trust that you're building, if it's not consistent, every single day you're building it, then it goes away. Okay? So make sure to build your, make daily deposits of trust with your partners by calling them, messaging them, and having relationships with them. It's very simple. Okay? So those are the steps that you need to take. How are you doing? You know, how's that product treating you? Hey, I see that you made one commission last month. I want to try to help you make another commission this month. Here's the plan that I have to help you. Let's try to do a meeting with 3 of your new members. This is how you build trust. This is how you grow your business. Okay? Not just registering them and forgetting about them. Okay? So next question. Question number 3. I develop my big team and I start feeling that some of my partners could get upset with me that I'm not taking care of them enough. You must have thousands of partners too. So how are you being a great sponsor to many under you? I would like to become a good sponsor to help many people. Please give me some tips. Well, first of all, thank you for thinking that I'm a good sponsor, but that is very subjective, right? Some people probably hate me, right? Some people probably love me. That is very, very subjective to that person and that timing when they meet you, right? Maybe one of your partners met you when you had no partners, right? Maybe your partner was, that partner, let's say Sarah, okay, was your first partner. Okay, Sarah was your very first partner. So you have lots of free time. You have nobody else to meet except Sarah. So every day you're meeting Sarah, talking to her, building businesses with her. But then John comes along. And now the time that you spent with Sarah has been cut in half with John. So now Sarah is upset at you. Sarah's like, you used to call me every day, but now you don't need me anymore? You like John more than me? Huh? Is John registering 10 more people than me? You know, I still used to register lots of people too, you know? So you run into this situation where time starts being divided, right? So people can get upset because of this, okay? But this is because you did not help explain the situation. So every single time I do the business, I have a guideline, okay? First, I have a list of videos, okay? I say, all right, new members, if you want to talk to me, you got to watch these videos first, okay? So don't do that though. I do that because, because I have a lot of people that message me, okay? So if you don't have a lot of members, Don't say those things, or else you will never get a message because maybe they'll never watch the video. Okay. So first, what you want to do is you want to make a list of basic information. So that's a company introduction, compensation plan, and product knowledge. These three things are the first sets of knowledge and video that you want to implement into the minds of new members. Okay. After you do that, you will get to the next part. And the next part is duplicating yourself. Okay. So what I say is I give all my new members, I give them 3 months. Okay. I say in 3 months, I want you to be able to go on your own. Okay. What do I mean by go on your own? I mean, you don't need to call me anymore to recruit new people. Okay. So for 3 months, what I do is every time they ask me a question or they need me in a Zoom call or something, I go and then I answer and I do everything that I expect them to do. And they must be in the Zoom call with me. Okay. And then they have to watch the Zoom call again. So they understand how I'm saying it, what I'm saying, the way that I'm saying it. And then I duplicate them in the next 3 months. Okay. That's my goal. So Sarah can't be upset with me when John comes, right? Because Sarah knows that in 3 months, she has to understand how to do everything. And when John comes, John can't be upset with me when next month Sam comes, because John understands that he has to duplicate this process, okay? And then I bring everybody together in another group, and then I review these things and I continue. So in the very beginning stages, when you have only one person that you are sponsoring, then they can become upset later on down the road because they feel like, oh, look at you now. Oh, you're Diamond Master now, so you don't call me anymore, huh? Right? When you used to be an agent, you used to call me every day, right? So you can avoid those situations by what? By staying consistent in the way that you duplicate your partners, okay? So you are only a good sponsor to those that think you're a good sponsor, right? And you're a bad sponsor to those who think that you're a bad sponsor, right? So this is the same thing with the power line, right? For example, let's say that Amy has registered, okay? Let's say that Amy is my new recruit. Amy says to me, Amy's like, let's say, let me erase this. So let's say that this is Jew and I registered Amy. And since Amy was my first recruit, I registered 500 people under Amy. Okay, let's say. Amy's like, oh my gosh, Coach Jew is amazing. He registered 500 people and he's just the best person in the world. He registers so many people and so much PV. Yay, right? Amy says that, okay? And then let's say next month, I registered under this person. Let's say I registered John. So 500 people and then John, okay? And after I registered John, let's say I only registered 5 more people because I have no more people that I can register. And then John registered maybe, let's say 300 people on his beeline because he didn't listen to me. Amy says, I'm an amazing person. Amy's like, wow, he registers so many people. But then what does John say? John says, oh man, Coach Jew is horrible. It's already been 3 months, but he only registered 5 people in my A line, right? So have I changed? Did I change anything? Am I still the same person? Yeah, I'm still the same Coach Jew, but according to Amy, I'm an amazing person, and according to John, I'm a horrible person, right? So this is all subjective to where you are and your sponsor's positioning, right? It has nothing to do with the business, right? So what am I saying? I'm saying that a good sponsor and a bad sponsor is not somebody who gives you lots of A-line members, is not somebody who gives you lots of PV. That is not a good sponsor. A good sponsor is somebody who is consistent and who deposits trust every single day in the business. That is a good sponsor. The person who shows up and who's always there, right? That is a good sponsor. So your job is to do what? To be consistent in everything that you're doing so that you can help your downline grow. Not registering lots of people and doing this and doing that. That's nonsense. You don't need it. Okay? What you need is make sure that your knowledge in Atomy is growing every day. That's what a good sponsor will do. B, always, always, always communicate with your partners from their point of view. Never from your point of view, right? From their point of view, because every person will interpret situations differently, okay? So what do you need to do then to encompass all this? Everybody knows the 8 steps to success, right? Everybody knows the 8 steps to success. 성공의 8단계, right? But there's a step 0. Do you know what the step 0 is? Step 0 means first, be a good person. If you're not a good person, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 will never work because they'll hate you. So step 0, please be a good human being. Love your partners and help them. And being able to do that is very easy. Number 1, equip yourself with knowledge of Atomy. Number 2, always answer them with their point of view. So always be in their shoes. So if they're upset for a reason. Don't say, why are you so upset all the time? Say, oh, let me, I understand that this is the situation that you're in. Help them understand. Okay, so step 0 is the most important step, okay? Being a good person, okay? So now I think we need break time before we take the live Q&A questions. I think there's some live Q&A that is waiting for us. I think I went a little over time, so
No, never. Well, thank you so much. I didn't even notice the time just went like that when we were enjoying our time. So I would love to say you have unlimited time, and I'm sure there's people nodding, but I know and there's people clapping. Wait. We have gathered some questions from Atomy Canada members, and they will be able to ask the question themselves in person. So there's a fierce competition, and we have 5 people. So out of like a million. So we will give you a minute so the coach can take a sip of water or something, and we'll be back. But don't go away. It'll be about a minute, and we'll be back for Q&A session. Okay. All right.
someone we should be thankful for. Thanks to him being one of the first leaders to explain atomy system in English, we can understand and live it out every day.
He's a very charismatic man and as well a great motivator and educator.
Is our great role model. Thanks always for guiding us to how to become a great leader in Atomy. Thank you.
One of Atomy's best global speaker. You're the best.
A compelling communicator. Your passion and clear insight help us a lot. Thank you so much.
Inspiring and enjoyable to listen to.
Is my go-to person.
Atomy Master.
He's a great leader. He's a great motivator for me. Thank you.
Is intelligent and I like watch his videos. It's very inspiring.
You're an amazing speaker. He's a superman.
Is a great motivator.
Is amazing.
Fantastic.
So inspiring.
You are inspiration to me.
You're so awesome.
Is an inspirational speaker.
You are a great speaker.
Atomy's BTS.
You are so inspiring. Thank you for motivating us to never give up.
Thank you so much for all the support.
We are all looking forward to your seminar today.
A man who is very passionate and also motivates so many people around him. Thank you so much, Star Master Jung Park. We were waiting for you.
Oh, I think I saw a little drop of tears. We love him being here. It's amazing. Yes, you are a celebrity for us, especially us in North America. It's hard sometimes to connect just hands on right away with what's coming from head office. So you are the bridge and you are our BTS or even better. And I know time has really gone through. So thank you, Coach. And we have our 5 very lucky people. So let's bring up the first person. Sharon Rose Master, Eri Chung. Where is she? There she is.
Thanks once again for energizing lecture, Jung Park. Star Master Jung Park, my question will be, so we know that following up is very important in Atomy. What is a Star Master Jung Park's way of following up members or consumers?
All right. Thank you for that amazing question, and thank you for that video. I almost cried.
I saw that.
But before getting started, those are some important questions. So let me recharge myself with some hemo him, right?
Yay.
So you guys recharge yourselves as well.
We wish we can throw him some hemo in pockets.
So him means strength, right? So, all right, now I'm strengthened up to answer these questions, all right? So how do I follow up with my partners? How do people do it? I think for me, right, and my partners, what I encourage is whenever you introduce a product or whenever you introduce a lecture, whatever it may be. So let's talk about products first. Whenever you introduce a product, you want to make sure that they are using it correctly. So you need to follow up rather than just selling it to them. For example, some individuals, even the simplest things. Okay. So for example, watch. So let's say that you sold Hemohim to your partner. Okay. And a lot of people just rip it from this side. All right. So I even teach them how to open it. I say, listen, fold it once like this, fold it twice like this. And then from this side, you open it like this, but don't tear it the whole way. And then I tell them to open it from this side like this. And then you get a clean rip like that, right? But if you do it the other way, sometimes it doesn't get a clean rip. Now I have to drink another one, but you know, just the simplest things like that, okay? And some people, they don't know how to use the evening set. They don't know how to use the skincare. So what I do is I want to make sure that I'm following up by simply calling them, or I even send them personalized demonstrations, okay? So during this kind of situation, I think it's really easy to record a short video with your cell phone, okay? Really easy. So what I do is for each consumer, what I encourage is make a really short video of you using the product and send it to them. And then that makes it so much more personal, so much better than sending them just some random YouTube link. Okay? So that's the best way to follow up. Sending small video messages with how to use the product and following up by asking them if that's what they did and if they are using it. Okay, so I encourage everybody in this time and age where cell phones are readily available and everybody has a cell phone with a video selfie functionality, make a quick video and then follow up and personalize that video for them. That's what I always do. So whenever I have a new member who messages me, who's new, let's say in terms of the business, then I make it a effort to say, listen, this is my personal video for you, right? And I'm making this video for you so that you can feel like you are getting a one-on-one with me rather than just sending them my video list. Okay? So that's how I follow up during this time. So I encourage you all to also follow up in a personalized manner with video content. It doesn't have to be beautiful. Okay? It doesn't have to be nice. Just shows that you are taking the extra step to help them. Okay?
That was very practical and it's relevant. It's totally relevant for what we are doing right now. So that was a wonderful question and of course, wonderful answer to that question. Thank you so much. And the next question is from Diamond Master Denise Chow.
Hello.
Hi, Coach Yu. I'm your big fan. Okay, my question today is, before a new country opens, what are the preparations that we can do to help our organization grow?
Okay, very, very good question. So what are the steps needed to make that business grow? Okay, so online business is what we're doing. And at the same time, since it's a global business, it does take effort to build your business overseas. Okay, so let me tell you some of the steps that I take and some of the things that I do. When you live in Canada and when you are building your network within Canada, it's different. For example, buying a product and that the person you wanting to use the product can have access to the product right away because the country is already open. But let's say that you will have a member in Europe, let's say somewhere in Italy. They want to become a member, let's say in the UK. Okay, so the UK is planning on opening here soon. Let's say you have a partner in the UK and they want to use the product. Well, they can't, right? Because there's no office there that they can purchase from the warehouse. You can't do it. So now you have to think about it. How are you going to help them? How are you going to build it? So A, you have a choice. You have a choice to sponsor them. So are they somebody who you believe will be able to benefit by using the product? So maybe you should invest some money into sending the product over there, right? And getting them to use it. Maybe they can buy the product and you can help pay for the shipping. Maybe you can split the cost. But remember, building a business in an office that is not open yet does take a lot of effort and take a lot of money, right? It does cost money. So I don't want you to think that, oh man, I don't want to spend money to do that. Well, if you don't spend money to do it, then you have to have somebody who's really passionate about the Atomy business and they are already registered in your downline and want to do everything on their own without your help anyways, right? And I have partners like that as well. Or I do this kind of event as well. So another kind of event I do for individuals that can register. Okay, so let's say that it is UK again. Then I do promotions, right? Since I can't buy products and send it to them there, I do PV promotions. I say, all right, I'm going to give you guys 15 days. In the next 15 days, whoever registers, so many a number of people, I want to give that person X amount of PV, whether that's 10,000, whether that's 20, 50, 100,000, whatever it is, you make that event. And as you do this, this helps to motivate. And then what I also do is I say, listen, all right, now we're going to have a Zoom meeting. So whoever in country A, let's say in Europe, registers or brings in the most people into the Zoom meeting, I'm going to give you guys 50,000 PV. And I do promotions like this to help. Now, the next step is, of course, education. So education steps are exactly the same, just like you would in any country that is already open. Help them with understanding what? The company vision, information, right? Product knowledge, compensation plan. These three things are always the same. And then we want to do what? We want to make sure that these individuals are understanding how to duplicate themselves later on in the future. So this is what I did with my country leaders that don't speak English. One of the best things to do, I've been blessed with good interpreters who interpret my lectures all the time, right? So people who interpret my lectures all the time, they understand my mindset, and then they understand how I view Atomy. So those individuals are someone that you want to create. So in your downline, if you have a member who can speak that language, let's say that you are trying to grow Brazil, but you don't speak Portuguese. Let's say you're trying to grow Colombia, but you don't speak Spanish, but you have a partner who does. Focus on that person and allow them to become a good leader, because they can bridge the gap between you and that country with the language. Okay. So I hope that answered your questions. So before a new country opens, what are the preparations that you can do to help the organization grow was the question. So the first one was product, right? Help ship the product there, get the product in hand and use the product. Okay. 2, develop relationships with that person by helping the interpreter or individuals who's in your group bridge the language barrier, and by duplicating the same process that you would do in your country, right? The 3-month rules, just like I told you earlier, duplicating them, okay? Mindset of Atomy in terms of step 0, being a good person, okay? These things will always apply. So that is what I do, and that is what I target. So I encourage you all, go through your downline, see what leaders are in what country, and through those leaders, open that country, because that leader will already understand Atomy. Okay? Thank you very much. Next question.
Wow, thank you. We have Sales Master Jasmine Cabanilla. Sorry.
Hello, Jasmine.
Hello. Hi to all Atomians around the globe and to our Star Master Ju Young Park. I'm Jasmine Cabanilla of Atomy A+ World Center here in Vancouver, Canada. So my question is, my question is, did you make any mistakes or had doubts along your Atomy journey, and how did you handle them? What's your best advice and habit to become successful in this kind of business? Thank you.
Thank you. Very good question. So I think most 99.9% of all troubles / issues can be avoided by everyone if you stay humble, right? Humility is the answer to everything, I think. Okay. So what I mean by this is, maybe you are a superstar. Okay. Maybe you are somebody who can do amazing things, right? Maybe you're an amazing lecturer. Maybe you have a big network. But I always encourage everybody to stay humble, because 2 different things can happen. When you're really, really overly zealous and believe that you're going to accomplish Star Master within 1 month, right? Or if you're going to accomplish Diamond Master in 1 month, and whenever that doesn't happen, you discourage yourself, right? And or some people don't believe that they can accomplish A, B, or C, and then they start to work on it, and then they start to accomplish those things because they remain humble and consistent. So for me, this is a very good question, you know. Along my journey, what kind of mistakes have I made and how do I handle them? The biggest mistakes that I believe that I make and I still make, right, are emotion-based, right? What I mean by that is not thinking from my partner's point of view at times is the biggest mistake that I always make, right? Assuming that they know as much and assuming that they are in the same mindset as me sometimes, right? So maybe you say these things before. You can say, man, I don't understand why this person doesn't get Atomy. They say, man, I don't understand why they're not passionate about Atomy, right? They say, you can say those things, right? You can say, but if you have that kind of mentality, then you can't help that person because not everybody's going to be in the same position with the same passion as you, right? But if your passion is too strong, then your level of mutual understanding can get damaged, right? You can say in Korean, you say, oh, yeah, and I don't understand, right? I don't understand. But if you say those things, then you have failed because you're telling yourself you don't understand. I want you to erase that from your vocabulary, okay? So that's the biggest mistake that I have made and I try to avoid every time, okay? So erase that vocabulary from your, that word from your vocabulary. I don't understand. Don't say that, okay? What you need to say is, let me try to understand, okay? Let me try to understand why this person is not yet doing Atomy or why this person is not yet using the shampoo or, you know, let me try to understand. Don't say, I don't understand why. That's a negative, okay? So that is what I encourage and that is what I have made the mistake of doing. And you have to treat every situation like a new situation and build on top of each individual. So each individual is different. Each individual has different gifts, different abilities and talents. So build with that person is what I want to encourage. So do not be discouraged. Okay. You can't be discouraged if you understand Atomy. And the habit to become successful is, of course, understanding from that point of view, from that person's point of view, and staying consistent. Okay. Thank you very much.
Wow. That was wonderful. We have to go to number 4. Diamond Master Cheryl Bonnier.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
For inspiration to us, thank you. So the question is, Atomy's journey is unique to everyone, to every Atomian, regardless of the circumstance. Based on your experience with global partners and distributors, when do you advise a partner to transition from part-time to full-time? Do you follow a certain criteria in terms of the income or how big the team is already? If so, please share.
Okay, thank you. So let me focus on the transitioning part of the question. So part-time, full-time is also a subjective, point of view. For example, just because somebody is full-time doesn't mean much if they don't do much. And just because somebody is part-time doesn't mean that they're not doing more just because they're part-time, okay? So let's talk about those words, okay? Are you full-time or part-time? should be more dependent on your consistency in growing the business each day. And I know that a lot of people who say that they're full-time sometimes do less than people who are part-time, right? So just because like you study for a test 8 hours doesn't mean you're studying for that test for all 8 hours, right? Some people focus maybe 3 hours and get a better grade than somebody who focuses 16 hours, right? So let's not talk about time, but let's talk about your diligence and ability. So let's break that down. One person each day, let's say, has the free time of 8 hours. Each person that you meet consumes about 2 hours. So even if you're a full-timer, it is very difficult to consistently meet more than 4 people a day, right? So are you putting in the effort needed each day to at least speak to 3, let's say 2 to 4 people a day in building your business full-time? If the answer is yes, you're doing an amazing job. If the answer is no, then regardless of if you are full-time, you're not doing anything. You're just wasting time, right? Your title is just full-time with no results. So what I encourage everybody in this room, make a minimum effort. Okay, your minimum effort should be to recruit and create 1 consumer a week. A real consumer, not a registered member, a consumer. A consumer is somebody who knows their ID, who knows their password, who knows how to purchase the product online, and who knows how to register another member. Okay? Try to create 1 member like that a week. In 1 year, that's 52 members because there's 52 weeks in a year. And each member who is like that should be able to create 50,000 PV a month minimum, because that means that they are a true consumer who will then leverage off of their network. So if you multiply 50 times 50, that's 2.5 million PV. So in 1 year, you should be able to create 2.5 million PV in your A and in your B line if you're consistently doing what I'm telling you to do. And if you help your partner to do the same thing, then in 1 year, you should be able to create enough PV in your A and B line to become an auto sales master. If you do the math, it is 100% possible. But individuals lack the ability to do this. No, they don't lack the ability, but they lack the diligence and what's the word I'm looking for? Self-discipline. People lack the self-discipline to do this. So that is why you need your upline to tell you what to do every single day, which is make 1 member a week. So how do you transition from full-time to part-time? That's, again, very different for each person. For you, $10,000 may be big. For somebody, $10,000 may be small. So you cannot use monetary figures, okay? Maybe you are somebody who can make $0 in Atomy and still do Atomy full-time, right? Because you love Atomy and you don't need the money to do it. You love the culture and you love the business. But maybe you're somebody who has 7 kids, right? Maybe you have 7 kids and your only source of income is you, and you make, let's say, $5,000 in Atomy. Well, if you have 7 kids, I don't know if you can quit with $5,000, okay? So make sure that each situation is always catered to that person and make that decision wisely. Because the last thing that you want is your partners to become stressed and creating negative culture. But we need good stress, okay? Good stress is called growing pains, okay? When you're growing up, you have stress. For example, social skills are developed when you run into problems, right? When children go to school and fight with the other kids, and they are, they build their tolerance and they build their personality and they learn how to communicate with society because of hardship, right? But people who don't have any social skills are people who usually never had that kind of hardship in society. Okay? So that's the same thing in Atomy. In Atomy, if you want to grow, you need hardship, right? You need to be able to go out of your comfort zone. So you need these things, but you don't need the negative effects of being stressed. Am I full-time? Am I part-time? Oh, must I be full-time right now because of this? No. I started Atomy part-time, right? I had my own job in the beginning. I was a university professor in Korea, but guess what? I only had 3 classes. Professors only have 3 to 6 classes a week. You don't have a lot of classes. So all my other time I used to build Atomy. So I had my professorship income and I had my Atomy income. And I remember people always telling me, when are you going to be full-time? When are you going to be full-time? You need to quit your job. You need to quit your job. Stop doing your job. You need to do Atomy full-time. That's what my upline would tell me, right? And I said, I'll quit when I want to quit. I'll quit when I need to quit. And I quit whenever I saw that my time now would be better used in Atomy than in my other job. For example, my aunties in Korea, they make maybe $1,000 to $1,200 a month. Okay. But in Atomy, they did Atomy for about 4 months and they're making $500 a month in Atomy. Okay. But since their time is not so consistent because they have to work the 9 to 5 at the restaurants and serving and doing these things, even though they're making more money there, they quit because the opportunity cost is greater. So they quit the restaurant job and then they come here and then do Atomy full-time, even though they're only making $300 to $500 a month, because they can see that they will be able to make more doing this long-term than doing working at the restaurant. You understand? So it's not about, is my income greater in Atomy now than my income in my other job, right? It's about understanding potential growth and your current situation. And depending on that, you make that decision as an adult, not because somebody told you to make that decision, but as an adult, you make your own decision according to what it is that you need to do and how you need to go about it. Make sense? Okay. All right. Thank you. So I hope I answered that.
Oh, wow. We're very busy making notes and listening and looking at you at the same time. Now we have a very last question. Oh my. And this will be from Diamond Master Teresa Ho.
Hello, Teresa.
Hi, Coach Drew. What a powerful 2 hours we have. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for with all everything that you have shared so far. I can tell that you're giving us more than 100%. And you have went the extra mile to give us so much, so much of you to us. And just by doing that, I can tell you, you know what, I can feel the passion, can feel the commitment, and you just made yourself such a great role model for all of us that we need to give more than 100% to our downline, to our team. And I want to present you my question, and is, as our Atomy team gets bigger, so different teams with different cultures, with different group dynamics will form under us. Do you have strategies to delegate? And what's your advice for us to keep communication strong among team members? And how do you prevent and solve conflicts of misunderstanding issues among the teams?
Okay. Very, very good. Thank you for the question. And yes, I believe that, always giving your 100% is important. And I'm giving my 100% because I love John. And John always buys me yummy steaks when I go over there. So So the question that you're talking about is the consistency in business, and then the dynamics of culture and what needs to happen. So I'm going to be very frank and very straightforward with this answer. Okay. This is what I tell my partners. I say, listen, this is a business. Okay. We're not dating each other. We're here to make money, is what I say. Okay. What I mean by this is a lot of people have this misunderstanding of misunderstanding the business aspect to a relationship, right? In Korean, I say, 사업하는 거지 연애하는 거 아니에요, right? So what do I mean? This business is about being able to split your emotions. Business is business, and relationship is relationship. Okay? Because your partner upset you yesterday doesn't mean you don't answer their call today. That is not business. You are dating that person. That is the wrong mentality. Just because your sponsor upset you yesterday, and if they call you today, you're like, you ignore their call. That is so immature. If your boss at work called you and you don't answer his calls, you will get fired. You understand? Business is business. So make sure that that's the first thing that I teach my downline. Okay. I'm very kind and very loving and I joke with my partners and all these things. But as soon as my partner treats it as a relationship, like they get upset at me, then I pinpoint this and I say, listen, you are not my girlfriend. You are not my boyfriend. I am your sponsor and your coach. Respect each relationship accordingly and do the business. And then they get shocked, right? They say, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. But you have to understand that this is a business. So it doesn't matter the culture. Okay. It doesn't matter. Any of those things don't matter. Everybody needs to understand when we mean business, we mean business. So when a meeting is set on time, you come to the meeting. Okay. When the team is building together, you build together. When you guys are doing mastership, you do mastership. It doesn't matter if people say, if I become sales master, then that person becomes diamond master. I don't want to be a sales master because I don't want that person to be a diamond master. That is an immature relationship you have with that person. You are allowing your emotions to dictate the outcome of your business. Do not let that happen. Why? Because as soon as you do that, the upline cannot support you for people who will say that about you. Do you think that when you become a Diamond Master or a Sharon Rose Master, everybody in your downline will love for you to upgrade as well? No, there will be somebody in your downline as well who will say the same thing. But if you say those things and then you don't want to build your business because of somebody above you, then your downline will duplicate your attitude. And as soon as your downline duplicates your attitude, your sponsor will be tied up. They have no way to help you. Because, for example, let's say that your downline says those things. Let's say, all right, you don't want that sponsor to become a Diamond Master. Well, that sponsor had the same situation as you, right? They also didn't have a good relationship with their upline, but they understood that this business is not about emotions. So they put their emotions aside and they did their mastership and they grew their business to grow. And that is the kind of example that person made. So I want you to do the same thing. And then they understand. But if you don't do that, how are they going to support you? They're saying, oh, well, they did the same thing, so you do the same thing, right? So it doesn't work like that. So that is how I delegate those things. Everything else, you have no control. Okay? Everything else you cannot control. Because why? Because culture gets involved. Okay? Because relationship gets involved. right? So I cannot tell one of my, let's say, my downline who is a MLM network professional. Let's say they did MLM for 20 years, okay? And they are very, very strict about who comes to their meetings and what they do and how it's done and this and that. And then I try to tell them, in Atomy, that's not the case. Don't do this and don't do that. Do you think they'll listen to me? No, they don't listen, okay? Because they want to do it their way. But I force them to listen to at least business is business mindset. And that they understand, okay? So everything else is very difficult to control. And just because you try to control it, or because you try to control it, sometimes negative effects happen. But the only thing that we all in this room need to understand that we are here for business, right? And with respect to each other while doing the business, we will build relationships. And relationships can only be maintained when you don't cross the line. There must be a line of respect for each other, and that respect needs to always take place. And with that, I believe that we will be able to overcome all these conflicts and misunderstandings. Now, I'm going to end with this. There will always be misunderstandings, right? Always. Even with your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, and wife, you have misunderstandings, right? Of course, you misunderstand each other. It's not possible not to. But the difference is if you have a strong trust-based relationship, the misunderstandings are easily overcome because you trust that that person has the best interest for you. Okay? But if you are consistently making the wrong choices, then that trust that you're depositing every day becomes lower and lower and lower and dwindles down. So what am I saying? I'm saying that each situation that you encounter, whatever misunderstandings that you have, as a leader, always remember that that is your responsibility. Don't blame, don't point the finger at them. Even if they made the mistake, it is your fault. Always. Now, this is hard to grasp, but you must grasp it. Because, right? I forgot the word. Can somebody translate this for me? What does 억울하다 in English? What does that mean? 억울하다. 억울한 게 뭐죠? 영어로. Anybody know?
Not fair.
Oh, okay, not fair. I think that's a good word, okay? Okay, yeah. So in Atomy, in Korean, I say if you want to be a leader, you must be able to overcome 억울함, right? 억울한 거를 소화시킬 수 있어야지 리더가 된다. So in English, that means the things that you feel are unfair, you have to learn how to overcome and take that in, okay? So for example, let's say that you really were the best that you can and you helped your partner the best that you could, right? But you feel that they are so unfair towards you and they are telling everybody that you didn't try your best and you didn't help them when you did, right? It's not your job to go around telling everybody, but I did do my best. I did help them. I did do these things and try to make sides. But you say, you know, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to help you more. Let me try to help you more. Always being on their side to do those things. That's the wisest and best way to do it. Okay? So I'm going to leave on that note. So thank you very much. I hope that answered those questions.
Wow, Coach, as a MC, I forgot to mute myself and I kept forgetting that I was MCing and I was just doing all these noises. I got muted by the, oh, hi.
That's the little baby in the photo. He's this big now.
Wow. We have taken 2 hours out of your busy schedule, and it just went like so quickly. And this was an honest and genuine consultation session. Whoever missed out today, they really missed out, didn't they? So that is all. I cannot believe it, but this is the end of the session. And at the least, we can go and follow him on Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe and like on his channel, Coach Drew. That is the least we can do. And honestly, I'm sure you made a lot of notes and everything, but we have to put it into action. I keep hearing consistency, growth, and emotion in check, and duplication. Oh my goodness. We're not sleeping tonight, Coach. It's your fault. So let's give him another really, really big applause.
Thank you for all the kind words.
So much for your time, and we really appreciate it. And I really wish you can come back for a Korean session. It seems like your Korean is kind of taking over your English, right? We look forward to that. So thank you so much, Coach. And we have one little announcement. We have a replay seminar on coming Saturday on the 13th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 11 PST. And that'll be our one-day seminar replay on Saturday. Goodness. So it is just over 9 o'clock, and I have welcomed you into it. And we'll have to finish it with our company motto. Coach, would you be doing it with us? I want to hear from you. You ready?
Yep.
Go.
Cherish the spirit, create the vision, follow the faith, serve in humility. Aja, 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 aja. Woo! Woo! All right. Thank you. I'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.